Oh, party people, man, that's gonna be my last one of the night. You know, shit, my wife is out. I ain't got nothing to do. I gotta come out here that's gonna reef her. But, shit. Uh, yeah, so I went down there, man. I had to get my shit, my weight back up, you know, and how this poker game works. It's just different levels. Like you start off or whatever, and you start off with you can only buy them with 4 grand. No matter what, you get cracked 4 grand. I don't care if you got 100 grand, 4 grand. So from that, you got to build up your stash. Like if you start from nothing, you know, you got to really sit and wait. And oh, so anyway, so I tried a little experiment, right? I tried a little experiment, and of course, when I usually play, when I really grind and just start, you know, when I got the hand, I crack a niggas, you know. As a man, I guess, you know, and on my website, I had like 2 gargoyles, you know, so I guess they didn't really know it was a man, but even when I had my, you know, like a man, like motherfuckers are more circumspect, man, like in their betting and shit. So I said, let me try something. So I went down there, I changed my profile, I put like the generic woman's picture, I changed my name, you know, now I come, right? Before, after I cracked a couple niggas would just fall off from the table and just like, okay, I ain't playing. Especially when you start getting up there, cause you know these dudes might be working with 3, 4 grand. Not all of them. Some of them are holding, but you know when you sitting there with 40, 50 grand, 60 grand, 70 grand, and you cracking them, they start falling back from you. They like, phew. But as a woman, you know, I had like 4 or 5 guys chasing me down, man, and I'm cracking them. I'm fucking cracking these motherfuckers, you know, and but I'm fucking with them too. I'm like you know, I would like what I used to do, but more, you know, like I would bet oops. And motherfucker, I rock 'em bonk, and you know here, and then you know I had them to where like there was one dude, right, Sergi, some shit his name. I sent him back to the bank like 5, 6 times because he'd start off betting. You know, I was keeping the bet, and you know, I bet 100. This motherfucker jump out the window 500. Okay, because I had, you know, if I have a hand, okay, I call him all in, and I got cause. You know, I got 60, 70 grand behind me. He's working with 4. All he could come up with is 4. So he keeps trying to bully a pot. And I'm on him. I'm on him. And finally he comes and like the bet is to him and the bet is at 20. So the bet comes to him and you could like say things like nice hand, you know, thank you, you know, nice things. You can't really get greasy in that. But they got faces too. Like one face is like their eyes popping out like, you know, when it's laughing. I don't do that unless they do it to me. You know, but one is just so like when the bet went to him, I flashed the check. I had him gorilla, man. I really did, man. He said, I ain't fucking with this motherfucker. And I was hot. I was hitting hands, you know. And I mean, this shit just is easily go another way, you know. Shit easily go another way, man. But you know, when you hot, when you hitting, you gotta rock. You gotta. Like what kills me about these people betting, even when they got a good hand, when they got the fucking hand, they fucking 400, you know, 500. You know how many motherfuckers I must have just because I went from a 4. I had 6 grand. You know, you coming with 4. I had 2 behind me. If they cracked me for the 4, but I laid, pop, pop, pop. You know, hits of 6 grand, 8 grand, 12 grand. But I'm waiting for the pots. I'm not just fucking betting anything. I'm waiting for the pots. And not only that, I'm making sure I'm building a pot. See, a lot of these people, they don't know how to build a pot. A lot of times, they find the last hand being turned over, and they don't let everyone check throughout the whole fucking hand. Check, check, check. You know, if you got a hand, if you got a fucking hand you willing to bet, it's betting. You can't check until you got a fucking hand. You check all the way through, and all of a sudden you forgot fucking a full house. Oh, all in. There ain't nothing in the pot but the ante. 80, $100, maybe 1,000. That's all that you gonna win. You know they don't know how to bet. Like once you start seeing your hand building towards that, you want to bet accordingly. And that's always if you're betting. If you're the one betting, if you're, motherfuckers, whatever Larry they checking, I'm putting something in the pot. So when it do come down to like say, the type of stakes, but say it come down to like say you paying $10, $20, blinds, whatever. But okay, so now you got 4 or 5 thousand in the bank. Everyone's checking, or whatever. Niggas ain't checking at that point if it's that, but you gotta know how to build a pot, man. You gotta like I explained before, like motherfuckers like to get their cards because how the game is dealt Texas Hold'em is this: so everyone gets 2 cards, they burn a card, and then it's the flop. The flop they turn over 3 cards at once. Bakak. So now you get the cards, but before the flop is a bet. So these motherfuckers want to check the flop. I think it's this. I'd rather put something in the pot, first of all, so if I do win, I'm not gonna win a fucking ante. And, you know, I mean that say you do hit on the flop. Say you do hit. Now what are you gonna do? Bet it all of a sudden? First of all, ain't no one got no money in there. All they got is an ante, $20, whatever it is, whatever it is. It's just an ante, so they ain't got no problem backing out. But if you get some of their money in there at first, they kind of feel obligated. Like, you ain't got to fucking come at them, like a gorilla. Just 200, 250. You can call that. Motherfucker might even raise you 500. And if you hold it now, okay, and you don't go crazy because there's other people betting. You don't want to chase them out. So in that case, I just call them, especially if I know I got it. If I'm bullshitting, I'm like, okay, and all in, nigga. But if I got it, I'll just call it, okay, because I want the other motherfuckers to stay in. Say you got a table with 5, 6 people. They go around first hand. They want, bet, pop, flop, come up. Motherfuckers don't want to bet. 2, 3 motherfuckers fall out. You still got 3 motherfuckers in there. 2 motherfuckers in there. You want every time you bet 100, you want to get 2, 300 back. You don't want to just play heads up. You want to keep motherfuckers in the game, unless unless they act like they got something or they might have something better than you. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, you want to run motherfuckers off. Like right, and that's a good thing to do betting before the flop, because a lot of these scary motherfuckers, they want to play for free. Meaning, okay, I'm gonna pay for my ante, whatever that is, and then I'm gonna see my first 5 cards. You get your 2 in your hand and flop 3 cards. Now, if I have something, I will bet on it. Yeah, I bet I would too. But my thing is this: you gonna have to pay to see that. And I look at that as the price of doing poker. Like, if it's a reasonable bet, if it's reasonable, and I folded one hand, I would have had the motherfucking, and it was a pot too. But I had like a 4 and a 5 or some shit. Motherfucker bet 500, and it wasn't shit. I should have called it. I really should have, because I had the money. But 4 and 5, not even the same pair. It turns out I would have had to win in pair. Like 3 more 4s fucking turned up. But, and I told myself, you can't, oh well. Because if I knew that was coming, yeah, I would have bet it. I didn't know it was coming. And this computer shit, it might not have, if I did bet it. Who knows? I don't know that shit. But the thing is that the whole thing of poker is not the best hand. It really ain't. I mean, at the end of the day, okay, I got pop. But I'll tell you this: if you don't know how to bet it, if you don't know what you're working with, you fold the best hand just as easily as the worst hand. And when it happens and you do it right, you just chalk it up to the game. But when uh, yeah, when you bet, you want to make sure you want to do it like you got something. Or not even. You just throw the shit in, man. Like, it don't matter if the motherfucker got it or not. Hey, that's my bet. Oh man, I love that shit. All right, party people, let me end this.